14 days after he escaped from a prison exercise yard, a convicted murderer has been recaptured in Pennsylvania. Danelo Cavalcante is described as extremely dangerous, and his arrest this morning has many breathing sighs of relief. The CBC's Magda Gebrselassie is tracking the story from Washington. She joins us now live. So hundreds of officers were searching for this fugitive for days. What are you hearing about how this arrest all went down?
Well, it went down early this morning, around 8 o'clock this morning, and officials say they were able to take him into custody without firing any shots. Now, helicopter footage shows Cavalcante being cuffed and surrounded by officers and being taken into a vehicle. Now, this is the end that authorities have been working towards for the last 2 weeks. This is after Cavalcante was on the run since August 31st. He was able to break out of a prison before being transferred to another one to serve a life sentence for killing an ex-girlfriend. Now, surveillance footage from that prison showed him doing a crab walk up a wall. He was able to make his way out by accessing the roof, able to get by barbed wire and scale a fence. And since then, there have been hundreds of officers and dogs and helicopters and drones that have been part of this search looking for him. There have been several sightings of him. He was even caught with a changed look on camera, captured by a door camera at a home of an acquaintance. And while on the run, he allegedly stole everything from a van to a rifle with ammunition, which had people in the area even more worried, but now they're breathing easier. He is now in custody. Take a listen to what happened at that moment when police came up on him.
And shortly after 8 a.m., tactical teams converged on the area where the heat source was. They were able to move in very quietly. They had the element of surprise. Cavalcante did not realize he was surrounded until that had occurred. That did not stop him from trying to escape. He began to crawl through thick underbrush, taking his rifle with him as he went. One of the Customs and Border Control teams, BORTAC, had a dog with them. They released the dog. Some of our PSP CERT members were also there, had him surrounded. The dog subdued him, and team members from both of those teams immediately moved in.
And so now he's in custody. He will be interviewed, and then he will be transferred to a state prison. And it's now, again, it's been 2 weeks that he has been on the run, but authorities now have him in custody.
And now Cavalcante is not only wanted by U.S. authorities, but he's also wanted in a homicide case back in Brazil. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, officials say that he actually entered the U.S. illegally at some point after he was wanted by police in Brazil in connection with a murder of a man there in 2017. And that murder allegedly was over a dispute over some debt. Now, detectives in Pennsylvania say that case is tied to the motive for the killing of his ex-girlfriend. Police say Cavalcante fatally stabbed her to stop her from telling police that he was wanted in Brazil. So this, of course, is raising a lot of questions around how he was able to make it into the country, when he was able to make it into the country, and whether at any point he would be deported. But at this point, authorities are focusing on the fact that they now have this man in custody after searching for him for 2 weeks.
Thanks for this. That is the CBC's Magda Gebrselassie in Washington.